I'm Jamie Hooper with Remax Crest, and today we're here to talk about the 2022 real estate market in Greater Vancouver. We're just going to review the two polar opposite types of markets we had during the year. But before we do that, I'd just like to remind you, if you get any value out of these videos, enjoy them at all, either click a thumbs up button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or make a comment if you're so inclined. So as I mentioned, we had two different types of markets in Greater Vancouver in 2022. Between January and March, it was a continuation of the fall market where we had very little product, very low inventory, and big demand. And that continued through January, February, and March of this year. Then what happened was interest rates had started to creep up in the first couple months of the year. And by the end of March, they were starting to take effect on the market. And the last 9 months of the year were a lot slower. So if you have a look behind me here, you'll see that between January and March, we averaged 1,000 detached house sales a month and 2,400 attached sales. So detached, I mean for detached homes, and attached counts condos, townhomes, and half duplexes. So the first 3 months, as you can see, we accounted for 3,460 sales per month total. Then through April and December, it dropped, like we had spoken about. 577 homes sold per month, a 42% drop on average. For condos, townhouses, and half duplexes, another 1,400, 41% drop. So the amount of sales have dropped dramatically. So that's one of the things that's going on here. But there's a bunch of contradictions, as there always is with the Vancouver market, because it's an unusual place that marches to its own drummer. So the next thing we're going to look at is a number, what we see in the press, as I talk about all the time, a number of these markets are still sellers markets. Overall, the numbers are much lower, as I just showed you, but certain parts of the markets are still on fire. And a lot of people, when they enter the market, they can't believe that some people are getting caught in multiple offers, and the market's not as soft as people think. So here's some examples of it. So now, I've got this just divided into two separate, so for the detached market and the condo and townhouse market. So you can see downtown Vancouver, the townhouse market is a seller's market up to $900,000, or the condo townhouse market downtown is a seller's market up to $900,000. West side of Vancouver, a detached house up to $3.5 million. It's a busy market. Typically, a lot of the people on the west side may not need mortgages, and if you do have cash right now and you don't have to borrow money, it's a good time to purchase a property. I'm not going to run through each one of them, but each one of these on here that you see is a seller's market up to that point. You don't hear about that when you hear the numbers being reported by the media. The other thing that's going on is the length of time homes are on the market is longer now. Reason being, less demand, less pressure. So we can see the average days. The first 3 months of the year, you can see on the, let's take a look at North Van, for instance. That's one market that hasn't changed much, is North Van. North Van's had a lack of inventory through all of this. The entire market's over there for the condo and the townhouse market and the detached house market are extremely busy. But if you have a look, Richmond, the average days on market was 10 days on market January to March. Now it's 15. East side of Vancouver, 9 to 11. Even those little subtleties it puts less pressure on buyers, gives them more time to consider the home they want. The percentage of price, list to sell price is different as it was. The quality of the offers that sellers are receiving. So if you have a look at these numbers between January and March, they're all getting over 100% of their asking price back then because there was so little demand. People were paying above asking for properties. Since then, you can see, but they're still pretty decent numbers. The worst number we see on there is 96% in West Van. These are not signs of a market that is crashing, is the point I'm trying to make here. Why is that happening? Because there's an incredible housing shortage in Vancouver already. There still is not an abundance. We have low inventories that we typically do at this time of year anyway, but we have low inventories, less selection to pick from. That's what's keeping this market propped up, and that's why it's not crashing like a bunch of the doomsayers are prognosticating. So, excuse me. Prices have also, the last thing we want to talk about here is that prices have come down more in the detached housing market than in the condo townhouse market. And here's some, we're going to do the benchmark prices first. Here's how much the detached houses have come down. So on the one page you can see the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver overall, at the bottom number there is 12.9%. That's how much they've come down since April 30th, I should say April 1st to December 31st, the 9-month period. So you can see overall it's 12.9%. Biggest loser on there is Ladner at 16.4%, and the one that came down the least is the West Van market. And you just flip over. Here's just a summary of the condo market. We haven't talked about it much, but you can see the price changes are quite a bit smaller. And that's because there's more demand, and that's because it's more affordable for more people in that segment of the market. So where are we going from here for 2023? It all depends on interest rates. As soon as they get inflation under control, interest rates will start to soften, and that's when we'll start to see the market come back. I'm Jamie Hooper with RE/MAX Crest. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this, and we'll be back with another video soon.